What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot laddering. So we're back playing some more Registeel. Hopefully today we can actually do Registeel things. If you haven't checked out the previous videos, make sure you go and do that. The one that was published on Tuesday, we did a pretty in-depth team evaluation here. So I just want to play some games. Let's just jump in and see what we can do today. Let's see what we can find this morning on Showdown. Mono-electric. Well, I feel like they just don't have an answer to Mamoswine. Obviously, the true answer is their answer to Mamoswine is Rotom Wash, which I believe will outspeed us. Yeah, they get to 151. Moltres looks pretty poor. Registeel actually looks pretty decent, if you want me to be honest. Big Moltres actually could be interesting too, especially next to Comfey. So, what if we do, Comfey and Moltres up front with Mamo and Registeel in the back? I think this is fine. So, let's see, 172, 190. All is going to be faster than us. So, let's just go for the Draining Kiss and the Moltres. And I'm going to go for a Darkness into... Actually, what if we Trick Room and go for Darkness into Boltund? Because they're going to be faster than us. Okay. So we activate competitive. We get a Trick Room up. Okay, so that turn went pretty alright if you want my honest opinion. Now we can go into this Boltund, pick up the KO on it. Actually, I think it's correct to pick up the KO on the Manectric. And, remove this threat before it continues to snarl us, which I think could be a big problem for us here in this endgame. Obviously it's turn 2, but we were trying to set up to where Moltres just sweeps, and I think we're in a very, very good position where we can actually do that. Even if we are only at +1. But now their Boltund's at +4. Boltund also gets Snarl. I didn't realize that. This is fine. And they're going to bring out Pincurchin, which is slower than everything else going on. So I'm going to go for a Floral Healing into Moltres. Actually, no. Let's just Draining Kiss the Boltund to pick up the KO on it. And we'll Darkness into Pincurchin. They probably go big with Pincurchin this turn, actually. And Electro, and go for... actually, that didn't KO. I actually expected it to. Yeah, Lightning's going to pick up the KO on Moltres. So now we can bring out Registeel, and I'm going to taunt this Boltund and go for Amnesia. And just, bulk up in front of this Pincurchin. They are Life Orb, which is interesting. Actually, I'm going to Draining Kiss this Boltund to pick up the KO on it, and we'll go for Amnesia. Life Orb Pincurchin. I don't believe Pincurchin's stats are all that great. So Lightning into Registeel. It actually does a pretty good chunk. So we get the Amnesia off. They're going to bring out Thundy as their last. So Floral Healing. And we'll go for... Does Floral Healing go through Protect? I don't think so. And we'll Iron Head into Thundurus, try to pick up a flinch on it. Lightning into Comfey is going to pick up the KO on it, that's fine. And we get the flinch, alright. Alright. So now we have Mamo versus the world, basically. Pincurchin I know has access to Scald. Just want to do some quick looking here to see what else it can do. It is physically offensive sometimes. I'm not sure if Ice Shard's enough to pick up the KO here, but let's find out together. I'll go for a Body Press into Pincurchin, I guess. Actually, Ice Shard is enough. Mamo coming in strong. It's Scald, but that's not enough to pick up the KO, so now we can Ice Shard to pick up the KO. Okay. So Ice Shard plus another Body Press here should be enough to pick up the KO on the Pincurchin. Mamo goes down. They Sucker Punch, and they take themselves out. Okay. Interesting team from our opponent. I'm actually really surprised they didn't bring Rotom Wash, but I guess because they have Scald on the Pincurchin that, that was their true answer to Mamo. It's just like Life Orb Pincurchin. It's not the craziest thing. The fact that we were able to do so much to the Thundurus there with Mamo is fantastic. As we go against a second, a dual weather team, I should say here. Not a second anything, but, whatever. It's early morning, and I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Alright. So let's see. What do we like? T-Tar, Excadrill, Tornadus, Politoed, Zapdos, and Amistar. So they have Swift Swim with Amistar. Most likely this is going to be Mold Breaker on Excadrill. I can see it being Sand Rush, but I think because they have they have Tornadus as well, I don't think they actually need the speed boost from Sand Rush because they could just set Tailwind instead. Hitmontop, I think, is fine. It lines up well against most of a non-zero amount of their threats being T-Tar, Excadrill, and Amistar. And Mamoswine actually lines up pretty well against the rest of them, except for this Politoed, which is kind of annoying. I think Feeny looks pretty great here. We line up pretty well against everything going on. So I think this is going to be Hitmontop, Mamo up front with Feeny and Moltres in the back. I think this is fine. So it is T-Tar, Excadrill. This is awkward because Excadrill is faster than Mamo every time. So Steel Spike is actually pretty obvious here, I think. So we can go into... I think Steel Spike is pretty obvious, and I don't know if we actually take that. I would like to just Quake this. What if we Max Guard plus Coaching this turn? So we can get the defense boost. They're also at -1. They actually don't Dynamax. There's a high horsepower. Okay. Well, that turn went pretty okay, all things considered. So now, they just concede. So this next play, what I was going to do is we Quake into the Excadrill, do a ton of damage to it, and then we can close combat into the Tyranitar to pick up the KO on it. Seeing how these are both at -1 and we're at +1 defense on the Mamoswine, Mamoswine is not going to be taking a ton of damage here from either of these threats, meaning they probably need to go into Politoed or Zapdos here to actually threaten this. But Zapdos doesn't really pressure it. You have Heat Wave, but it's not doing a ton. So as long as we play this game correctly, where we can actually get 1 to 2 Quakes off, Mamoswine just bulks up in this game, and they can't really hurt it in any way. So, yeah, alright, short game. Sometimes you get those on Showdown, and that's kind of fine, so whatever. Alright, so we have Trick Room. We have Surf on Slowpoke to trigger Storm Drain on Gastrodon. Their lead most likely is going to be Indeedee Hat, so I think our play... What if we do... I'm going to do Comfey Moltres up front. Registeel, I think, is going to be critically important to this game. And I think I like Feeny as well. Feeny lines up against a lot of their threats here. The only thing we really need to worry about is, not clicking Muddy Water when they have Gastrodon on the field. And, watching out for Hatterene, because G-Max Smite is super annoying. Even if we like trigger policy up front here, like if we lead this and we trigger policy and we go for the Fiery Wrath to try to pick up the double KO on Hatterene and DD, and Hatterene actually lives that a non-zero amount of time, so let's see. I don't think I want to go big. I think there's a chance Gastrodon does, though. I'm just going to Draining Kiss the Moltres. I want to click Fiery Wrath to do a ton of damage, but I think there's a chance that Gastrodon goes big. We'll just go for Darkness into Slowpoke and hope they're not Sash. Okay, they do Dynamax the Gastrodon. Trigger our policy. Darkness into Slowpoke picks up the KO there. We drop the special defense on the Gastrodon. They ooze into Comfey, which is not enough. So that tells me they have Sludge Bomb. Clear Smog, most likely, actually thinking about this critically. I think Clear Smog is the most likely of the candidates. So they're going to ooze into Comfey. I'm going to go into Registeel. And we will... They're not Psychic Seeds, so there's actually a non-zero chance it's Focus Sash. I'm just going to Darkness into the Indeedee as well. And they click to follow me, so Darkness is going there regardless. But now we get another special defense drop on the Gastrodon. And they ooze into Registeel. Called it correctly. That's great. Going to prevent a turn of their Dynamax. And I want to click Amnesia this turn. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I lied. I'm going to Amnesia this turn. And we'll go for... I guess we can Airstream. I don't see any reason not to. Like, they're not pressuring my Moltres whatsoever. They're going to Helping Hand. I could have Airstreamed into the Gastrodon to pick up the KO on it, I guess. This could be Quake into Registeel. It's actually Ooze into Moltres, which is probably, yeah, after the crit's going to put us into Berserk range. Sweet. And after the speed boost, Registeel is actually faster than Gastrodon too. And they have all special attackers here, so getting the Amnesia off on Registeel is really important for us. And I mean that it's going to be super hard for them to actually kill. We need to remove this Gastrodon this turn though, because they are a +2 special attack, -2 special defense. So if we can just Fiery Wrath will most likely pick up the KO on Gastrodon this turn. And if they have Hatterene as their last, we can just go for like Iron Head into it. If they have like Drampo, we can Body Press. It's actually going to be Torkoal, which I think is actually the scariest of them. So I'm actually going to Amnesia again, and we're going to Fiery Wrath, remove the Gastrodon. JK, LOL, we're actually just going to win the game because we're at +3. I actually thought there was going to be a little more to this end game other than just Fiery Wrath blowing up everything, but I didn't anticipate Torkoal just getting KO'd there. Glad it did, I'm not going to complain about that, but I honestly expected it to be able to take one, but just shows you the power of +3 Moltres. Okay, so they have Perish Trap things going on here. They also have Sun things. Mamoswine looks pretty okay. Especially since we can... I actually like the idea of Moltres here. Moltres lines up pretty okay against like Venusaur and Gothitelle and Runerigus. Charizard's going to be faster than us because they are max speed. With them having double fire types, I don't really care for Registeel. I also don't really care for Mamoswine, but I don't really see... Like, I think Feeney's going to be really important. I think this is Comfey Moltres up front. I think Feeney's really important in case this is like Sleep Powder on the Venusaur. And I think I just want Mamoswine to be able to pressure them. It's going to be Charizard Torkoal up front. I'm okay with that. We'll go for the Draining Kiss. We'll go for an Airstream into Charizard. Could also Darkness. I think I need to outspeed this Charizard in this endgame. They're going to go into Azumarill. I'm actually pretty okay with that as well. Because I was actually worried about the Torkoal clicking Eruption this turn, but this is fine. Wildfire is going to trigger Berserk, so now we should guaranteed pick up this KO on Charizard. The crit actually is still not enough. But they take solar power damage, so that's going to do a good chunk to them. And because we got the Airstream off, now we're faster than Charizard. So we can go for a Darkness into the Charizard to pick up the KO on it. And lower the special defense on the Azumarill this turn. Ice Punch is going to do a non-zero amount, but we're just going to be able to keep healing with Floral Healing here. So Gothitelle, that's fine. Go for the Floral Healing. And we are going to Darkness into the Gothitelle. Hope they don't click Ally Switch. Which if they do, it's kind of whatever, because it's still a +3, a +3 Darkness going into the Gothitelle. Ice Punch still not enough. They actually click Trick Room. So once again, I'm just going to Floral Healing. That's actually going to do a ton for us this turn. And we'll click Fiery Wrath. Now that they're at -2 on the Azumarill, we're going to do a ton. They're actually going to give us another Berserk trigger. Still not enough to pick up the Azumarill KO, but I'm pretty okay with that. Comfey's still over here just holding on. So we'll go for another Floral Healing into the Moltres. And I'm going to click Fiery Wrath one more time. Burning Jealousy. Picks up the KO there. Ice Punch is actually enough to finally pick up the KO on the Moltres there. But now we get Misty Terrain up. I can just click... Sun is actually over as well, so we can just go for Muddy Water here, which is going to do a ton to the Torkoal. And I think I want to protect... I think Mamoswine is being threatened by this Torkoal, and I just need to protect in front of it. Try to stall out these last few turns of the Trick Room here. Muddy Water's enough to pick up the KO on Torkoal. So now we can Muddy Water plus Ice Shard. Yeah, opponent concurs that this game is over. Sweet! Really, really good sets of games so far today. Like, I feel like I've played most of these games as optimally as I can. Opponent over here dropping the GL to us, so drop it back. Gotta be polite. So they have Terrakion, but they don't have... No, that's a lie. Rillaboom has access to Beat Up, right? No. They don't have Beat Up? So why do they have Terrakion? The other one I was looking for was Grimmsnarl, but it's not on here either. I'm going to do Hitmontop Mamoswine. Feeny looks really good, especially if we can delete the Rillaboom here early. And I think I just like Moltres in this last slot. Gonna get the Intimidate off on Zapdos Grimmsnarl here. Not gonna do a ton for us. Could Airstream into my Hitmontop, which doesn't really matter. Go for Coaching. We can Icicle Crash into Zapdos. That'll do a ton, even if they do get a Reflect Up. Which I have a feeling they're going to go for Protect. Reflect this turn. I don't think they have a reason to click Fake Out if they do have it. Like, Fake Out into Hitmontop would be fine. Actually just going to go into Heatran. They're going to trick into Grimmsnarl, give us Lagging Tail, which, I mean, that's kind of fine. Nice crit. So now we can Coaching again. And there's the chances that Heatran goes big here, actually. Also just close combat into the Heatran. I was going to do a ton, and we can go into... I think there's a non-zero chance that they go for, like, Steel Spike. So going into Feeny isn't awful, like it's a neutral hit, but if they do go for Flare, then Feeny takes that really well. I like that. They do go big on Heatran. Gonna just put it under half. There's the Flare into Feeny. Spirit Break into Hitmontop's gonna put us down to Sash. They're gonna take Life Orb damage. So now I can go... I could click Helping Hand. Plus Geyser the Heatran. I could also... Hitmontop is faster than Heatran. I actually don't want to Dynamax here. I'm going to just Helping Hand plus Muddy Water this turn. They're going to Fake Tears my Feeny. They're going to Flare into it, which actually is enough to take us out. I'm surprised there was no Steel Spike there. So now we can go into Mammo. And we can Coaching plus Max Guard. Okay, so Hitmontop is faster than Heatran, so that should mean that Mamoswine is also faster. So I can actually just Quake. We'll go for Coaching plus High Horsepower. Like, we know... Okay, that's actually a really good Max Guard. They're going to Spirit Break to pick up the KO on Mammo. Yeah, nice play. So we'll bring out Moltres now. Oh, no, wait, we have Lagging Tail. We have Lagging Tail. We have Lagging Tail. So I need to delete this Grimmsnarl, because it's actually going to put on a ton of pressure against Moltres, but I actually like Moltres Dynamax here, and Airstream into the Grimmsnarl. Plus, I don't think Ice Shard. How much did the first Ice Shard do? Did 21. They're at 25, so probably not enough to pick up a KO. What if we... I think I need to just delete the Grimmsnarl this turn. No. We're going to Darkness into Heatran, pick up the KO on it. And then we're going to Ice Shard into Grimmsnarl. It does a good chunk. Darkness into Heatran is going to pick up the KO on it, lower the special defense of the Grimmsnarl. They're going to Spirit Break, trigger our Policy. This is why I didn't want to Airstream into the Grimmsnarl, because I wanted them to trigger my Policy first. And now Ice Shard into Grimmsnarl picks up the KO on it. And they've already Dynamaxed. There's a non-zero chance that Zapdos is faster than us, so I think we need to get faster than it. So we can Airstream into the Grimmsnarl, we can Ice Shard into Zapdos, and that'll do a good chunk. They might protect Zapdos this turn, which I think would actually be fine for us. They're going to Fake Tears my Mammo. Well, Zapdos doesn't really care for that. They miss the Heat Wave onto Moltres. Grimmsnarl is deleted. Moltres is now faster than Zapdos. They have Terrakion as their last. So we can go for Airstream into Terrakion to pick up the KO on it. Oh, there's Sash. That's really bad for us, because the double up KOs us here. Really close game. Because like Zapdos goes down to their life orb there, so had they not been sashed, we actually win that game. Because obviously the Terrakion gets KO'd by Airstream, and we don't take the Rock Slide, we take the Thunderbolt, they go down. So really, really, really close game. It might have been correct to Ice Shard into the Zapdos instead, just to pick up the KO on it. I don't know. Interesting game. Let's see. Yeah, we got time for one more. Why not? This will probably be the last one of the day, depending on how long it goes. But Blastoise, Alola Tails, Dracozolt, or Arctozolt. There we go. That one. Escavalier, Moltres, and Heatran. I honestly think if we can get a Trick Room off, we're actually pretty set up pretty well. Actually, I don't even think we need Trick Room. The one thing that I'm worried about is Arctozolt, which, like, we just have Mammo for. Mammo and Hitmontop. What if we do Mammo, Hitmontop up front? And Feeny doesn't look great. Feeny only really lines up well against the Heatran. So what if we do Comfey and Moltres in the end game? I like that. I'm gonna bring Blastoise and Ninetales up front. We're gonna set up Hail. That's kind of fine. Kind of okay with that. I think we need to delete this Ninetales, so we can just go for like high horsepower. Let's Fake Out into it. You can see Blastoise going for Fake Out into Hitmontop, but I don't think they're max speed. I doubt they are. Plus, I want to get some special defense boosts in front of Blastoise, with them potentially also having like Heatran in the back. And we'll Fake Out into the Ninetales. They're actually going to go into Escavalier. Surprised to actually see them bring that. They're going to Dynamax Blastoise. Really surprised to see that too. Almost enough to pick up the KO on the Escavalier, but we get the special defense boost. They're going to Cannonade into Blastoise. Like, this is my big problem with Blastoise. This is their Dynamax, and they didn't even put Hitmontop down to Sash. Like, granted, we are at +1, but if you take that +1 out, it's still not enough to KO us. So now we can just Quake into Blastoise. And I kind of like the idea of Helping Hand. Helping Hand would actually do a good chunk. Could also like close combat to pick up the KO on a Escavalier. They're most likely Assault Vest, so they shouldn't have Protect. Holy cow, they actually had it. I'm actually surprised by that. But now we get to +2 special defense. They're gonna Cannonade into Mammo. So now we just make the same play. Actually, we did 50 to Blastoise, and they're at 45, so that should be enough. Yeah, this should be a double KO this turn, unless they max guard Blastoise. There's the KO on Escavalier. There's the KO on Blastoise. Alright. So we eliminated their Dynamax, but like we used ours to basically our full efficiency. We know they have Ninetales in the back, which is going to be faster than Moltres, so we can actually go into... I think it's still correct to go into Moltres. They could have Arctozolt, and that's really scary, actually. Because Arctozolt's going to be faster. 2 turns of Hail left, so I think we just need to go for the KO into Arctozolt this turn and protect Moltres. Yeah, they went into Moltres. That should be a KO onto Arctozolt then. Yep, cool. Mammo goes down to Vortex there, and down to Cannonade, and now we just we can Draining Kiss plus Air Slash, and that should be enough to KO. They're going to trigger Palsy, they're going to trigger Berserk, and now we have a +3 Moltres. Air Slash connects, picks up the KO. So, really interesting team here from our opponent. I actually really like it a lot. Really glad we didn't get to see Heatran come out, because, like, we did not bring our Heatran answer in Feeny, but, like, we did have Mammo, but, like, I don't think historically you're going to have Mammo be faster than Heatran, and if you are, then that's actually really, really good for us. Opponent over here dropping the GG, so got to drop it back, and unfortunately they left before we could, but really good game. This is my big problem with Blastoise, is it just really doesn't do enough damage to dictate using your Dynamax on it. Like, let's see here. How much did they actually do to... They did approximately 42% to our... so let's see. They did 42 at 1.5. I need to write this out so I can actually see what I'm trying to do. 42 over 1.5 is equal to x over 1. So no. Yes. No, wrong way. Would have done about 63% if I'm doing my math right, which still is not enough to KO Hitmontop. And our Hitmontop is not bulky. I mean, it has a little bit, but because we are... Oh, that's Garachoo. I don't want Garachoo. Like, we have 44 in special defense. That's not a ton. Like, we are Sash, too. Like, we're max HP max... we're max HP focus Sash, so like we are going to live a non-zero amount of hits. This is like the one thing I do have a problem about with this team, is if you're Sash, you shouldn't be max HP in my opinion. Like, sure, you are able to live more hits potentially, but like, in my opinion, like this is something that really bothered me about like early Whimsicott sets, and even to this day, the way I play Whimsicott, I don't have HP investment if I'm Sash, because as a result, like, Whimsicott's frail enough, and like Hitmontop, you do have a non-zero amount of bulk. You have actually really good bulk with 95 and 110. The big problem is you have base 50 defense, base 50 HP, which is not great, but when you're able to like bulk up instead or invest into attack, then like you're increasing your damage output, even if you only have one damaging attack. So, super minor nitpicky thing, but that is something that I do for my Whimsicott sets, is if I'm Sash, I don't invest in HP because I don't need it. But with Hitmontop, it's fine. I don't hate it. I think this is actually fine. This team has been really, really fun. I'm a big fan of everything we've had going on with it, between Hitmontop, Mamoswine, Moltres, and Comfey, which is historically something that I've loved to play, especially in Series 7. Tapu Fini, which is not a mon I've actually played a ton with. And of course, you gotta give it up to my boy Registeel. This thing, there was a draft league match this last season where I just got to bulk up with Iron Defense, Registeel, and just stall out Dynamaxes, stall out my opponent from attacking, and just like clean up with it. And it was the only time that season I brought Registeel, and it was fantastic. This team was great. I am a huge fan of everything we had going on here, and I would recommend this team. You know, it has my approval vote on it for a good Series 9 team going into the early days of the format. So I think that is going to be it today, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure you check out the new Pokemon Snap Let's Play that's starting on Sunday. And let's see, this is coming out Saturday morning. We actually have a qualifier event going on as we speak. But we have a Littleroot Rumble free entry tournament on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, which if you are interested in playing it, you gotta come join the Discord server. Free event, giving away a shiny Charmander to first place, and you get points for the circuit, which is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for it, so check that out. We will be back next week, everyone, playing some more laddering. Have a good one. Peace.